I'm just here to deliver your Quiznos.
Hello, friends! Welcome to User Friendly, the show that's about tech. I'm Roberto Hoyos.
I'm Erfon Elijah. And we're off to a great start. You can tell we've been gone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Totally forgot how this is done.
Well, User Friendly, I'll start all over.
Okay.
Is a show that talks about technology, new things on the web,
And all things Greek.
Yeah, there you go.
All things
Today,
Greek.
we have some Greek food.
Yeah, oh, that would be so great. I
Just pull it
love
out.
Greek food. I'm like, oh, spanakopita.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a real thing. But if you had a euro,
Yeah.
we would pause the show while I ate that euro.
Euros. So yeah, man, it's been a little while. We haven't
Couple
seen
weeks.
each other.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
So
Explain yourself.
I had Ebola, and I barely made it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I have a great physique now because I lost like 20 pounds.
Now I feel bad.
So, like 2 weeks ago, I'm out with some friends. We all go to a movie and stuff. And that
you
night,
really did get the airborne monkey virus in the theater, didn't
man. So in the theater, I was fine. So we went and saw Gravity, which we should just talk about a little bit now. I thought it was an amazing movie, but it's super like the camera angles and everything are totally original. It's off hinge the entire time. Like the camera angles are always like moving around space. It makes you feel like you're in space.
you? Interesting.
So it's shot in a totally original perspective, and you could get motion sickness in this movie, I think. So we're seeing this movie. I feel fine, and that night, asleep, and I'm like, man, I can't sleep, right? And I don't feel good. We played a board game with some friends, and by the end of the board game, I didn't say anything to anyone, but I was like, I can barely sit here. Like, I feel awful. Like, I need to go upstairs. It was only 11, and I thought we were going to stay up playing video games. And I was like, I'm going to go upstairs and lay down for a minute, right? And just kind of like, I don't know, rest for a moment. So I go up and lay down, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel awful. So I go downstairs, and they wanted to go to breakfast early in the morning. So thankfully, everyone's like, all right, let's just go home, and everyone can go to sleep. So I'm like, great, because that's what I was about to do anyway.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a grandpa right now. I'm so exhausted. And I had not been sleeping well for like a week, so I thought just maybe I was tired. So I'm laying in bed for like an hour and a half, and the whole time I'm like, I'm going to spew. I'm like, I feel really sick. But you know, like when you're gonna puke and you're kind of on the cusp and you're not really sure, and you're like, oh, I'm fine, I'm not gonna puke. So finally, I'm like, you know, maybe I will. So I get up, and immediately upon standing up, I'm like, I'm gonna spew, and I have to run to the bathroom.
Wow.
So I did, and I barely made it, but it was just like one of those projectile vomit pukes. You're just like,
Does that happen to you often? Like,
never happens to me.
Like, not to be very graphic, but I don't usually go this way. It's usually the other way.
No. I could have just stood there like this and gone, "Bleh!"
Like The
And
Exorcist.
there would have been nothing on me.
Split pea soup.
It just went straight. It was very, like, one of those very forceful pukes.
It
I
was
know
like
you guys want all the details on
in
this.
a movie where it's like a bad movie, they put a hose behind the person's face and just spray that.
Pretty much.
Oh wait, I have a clip to show you. Continue, and I'll.
So
find it.
anyway, at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe I ate something bad. But then I took my temperature, and my temperature was like almost 102. And I was like, okay, I'm obviously very sick. So came home, and I kept thinking that we were gonna be able to do the show. I was like, wait, and maybe I'll feel better.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did cancel it because I actually felt. I thought I was sitting here on my couch, laying here, and I was thinking to myself, if I get any sicker than this, I need to go to the hospital. Like, I felt awful.
Were you just like dehydrated too?
I don't
fever,
think so.
or-
I had a really high fever, so I was almost at 102 for pretty much 2 straight
Weird
days.
that it just like hit you super fast.
It
Right?
hit me super fast, and it left pretty fast. So after Sunday, on Monday, my temperature dropped to like almost normal. And Monday, I was kind of weak, but then by Tuesday, totally fine.
Well,
So it must have just been like a 48-hour
welcome
flu
back.
thing. Yeah.
Was it anything like this? I've seen this. I think I've seen what you're talking about here.
Are we supposed to be filming?
No,
this?
I put it in post.
Oh,
Was
look
it?
how fancy we're getting.
Was
No, we'll do it in post.
Shh, be quiet. Be quiet. Was it anything like this?
Sorry, guys. Looks like I lost him. There's no sign of him
I feel like this is pretty much a replay of what happened. Except that Bulls guy take his face off? Jeez. Cheese in it? Yeah.
That was it?
That was it, yeah.
Okay.
That was like literally a reenactment of what happened that night.
See, I thought I've heard of
Yeah,
this.
you did.
Okay.
So anyway,
Well, good to be back.
I'm back. I'm better.
And we can jump into the show.
Well, let's do the show. Not that we're not already doing the show. Oh, so I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. That's how I feel on the
About what?
inside about the Apple event.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm guessing here. We didn't do this last time we did the show. I'm gonna go ahead and just guess Tuesday morning. What is that? What date is that? Let's see.
Ask Siri.
How much? This show is only an hour long. You really want me to do that? So okay, Tuesday the 15th. I think that we're gonna get a press invite. Well, we're gonna hear about a press invite.
Yeah.
And then the Apple event's gonna be on the 22nd.
You ain't getting no
I'm
press
not. They're not
invite.
sending one to me. They're not sending one to me. But I mean, because they know I'm busy. I told Tim that.
You wake up at like 8 with your little press fedora on. And you're like,
See, I called it. See, remember that little thing? Doesn't it say press?
says
Yeah.
So
I'm super excited.
we are thinking. Are we hearing the 22nd for?
Almost
Apple?
guaranteed, yeah. Almost guaranteed the 22nd.
It's good, man.
It's gonna be new iPads.
Okay, yeah. So what is the rundown?
So, expectations, rumors. Updated MacBook Pro, 15-inch Retina. Gonna get Haswell. Totally revamped iPad 5. A7
Is there
processor.
the first version of it?
It is.
Okay.
Smaller form factor.
It's supposed to look like the Mini.
It's gonna look like the Mini and new Minis with Retina, so it'll be the Mini 2, I guess. I'm really on the fence between which of those two things I'm gonna throw down on. Tough decision for me.
Wait, between which ones?
I'm getting a new computer and I'm getting a new iPad.
But you're getting both, right?
Yes, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the iPad Mini or the full-size iPad.
Oh, right.
So there's the decision right
I
there.
think you sound like you're leaning towards the Mini.
I am.
And you would
I am.
sell your current.
I would. Yeah.
I don't think you would miss it.
The only thing that...
It's like weird when you use a Mini, like it doesn't feel small. Like
No, it doesn't. I think it's like the perfect size.
Yeah, I was playing with one for like an extensive amount of time once when I was killing time. And then I realized like after, 20 minutes, I'm like, this is the Mini. Like I don't feel
You don't
it
feel
at
like you're
all.
missing out on any screen real
But then
estate?
again, I'm with this and you're with that, so
Yeah, true. I'm not so worried about the screen size. The thing about it that
Retina.
Well, it's the Retina A. If it doesn't have Retina, I'm not buying it. That's
Okay.
just hands down, I'm not buying it. Because once you go Retina, it's kind of hard to go back.
You're
Yeah.
just like
Yeah. No.
I wash my hands with this.
That's what I do when I'm in the Apple store. I'm just gonna be like, no. Just gonna push it. And
Sir.
Yeah, no, just take it, sir. Hold it. But it's the speed because the iPad or the iPad Mini is gonna have like older hardware in it. So I'm like, do I really want to do that? Because the iPad is gonna have like all the newest, best, and greatest hardware. So.
Do you feel any sort of lagginess with your current?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do.
Oh yeah.
What are you on,
especially-
3?
I'm on a 3.
So you're 2 behind. 1 behind.
1 behind. Yeah.
About to be 2.
About to be 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it's not like terrible, but it's noticeable, and it was very noticeable when I upgraded to iOS 7 that it slowed down.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So that we're gonna see Mavericks. They'll probably announce a release date for it if they don't release it that day.
Yeah.
And then we'll see the new Mac Pros, and those will get their price tags. Very interested to hear.
So
how much
you
those
think
are
that
gonna
there's a chance that they could be like, and Mavericks is downloadable in a week or whatever?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Damn, doesn't that feel fast as hell?
I mean, they release a new version every year. So, and Lion came out a year ago, so
I wonder.
not really.
I have a general wonderment. Do you think that we're gonna start seeing the end of a lot of the icons that we're accustomed to, and we're gonna start seeing like similarities between iOS 7 and Mac OS? Like, are we gonna not see the Finder anymore, or is he gonna be like very thin and like completely different?
Thankfully.
Like, I mean, we know what the preview looks like, but that doesn't mean that we know what the OS looks like.
Well, I don't think they would change it that drastically between the preview and
their release.
Thankfully, it still looks like the operating system that you know and love, depending on which version you're on.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to make it look like an iOS device. I don't know if they ever will. I could see them making the icons look kind of the same.
Yeah.
But you also have to take into consideration that they consider these two different modalities, right? So they're not creating an OS for your computer that's going to look like your iOS,
Sure.
because they're two different things. They don't need to look the same because they don't behave the same.
True, but I think that like now we have Johnny Ive in charge of all hardware, all user interface design.
Mm-hmm.
And if he is sort of like being bullish of this whole like we stripped away these elements that were unnecessary and blah blah blah, then why would they continue with? I mean, some of these apps haven't been updated. Like I think Find My Friend still has leather on.
You mean on the phone?
No, on the computer.
Oh, it has it here too.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, like, some of the stuff, it's like completely supposed to be like a real world thing, like the trash and stuff like that on Mac OS 10. So I wonder if maybe not with Mavericks, but the next one.
That would not totally surprise me. Definitely, I don't think will happen with Mavericks, but the next one, whatever they call it, maybe it'll be San Diego.
No, they already have a name.
Oh, what is it?
I don't remember, but they have a name for the next one. I saw it for sure.
Is it Los Angeles?
No, it's like some weird name.
Or OS 10 Hollywood?
Yeah. Then it looks like total crap. And there's like always garbage in the garbage can.
Just always garbage on the background and stuff.
Yeah.
There's like, is that a drug needle in my folder?
Yeah.
Finder's like just totally tripped out. His face is all tripped out. Because Johnny Ive
It's like backwards.
Yeah, totally. There's like puke like in the corner of his mouth.
I would love that one. Now let's go back to that skeuomorphism.
So you could be right. I don't know. Who knows what they're gonna do? I hope not. I really like the way the OS looks.
I mean, I wonder because there's always been these kind of like refinements since OS 10 started. And when OS 10 started, it was people liked that it was like, oh look, the hard drive looks like a hard drive, and like all these things. And I feel like they might regress into the hard drive no longer looks like a hard drive. It's just a little square, and that represents your hard drive, or things like that. Like, because that's what we're going to on mobile, right? Like,
well, even on your desktop here, when you don't modify it like I do, and kind of like add some like the power areas and power features. And when you want to go to your files, there's a My Files folder that basically just shows you every file on your computer.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Does not work at all.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I wonder what the roadmap is for OS 10, because now it seems like it's been revamped and they're like, we're going to stick to OS 10 and we have these new names coming in, blah, blah, blah. But they would have to do some stuff to kind of like consistently jazz it up a little bit, rather than just like letting it run into the ground with the same drop down menus and the same exact stuff that we've been seeing for the last since 1984, right?
Yeah, that's true. But then again, look at what Windows 8 did, and they changed stuff, and they drastically changed stuff, and they did it with the same kind of for the same reasons.
I agree, and I think that
it's
that was
just a train
disaster,
wreck. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to anyone. And even Microsoft people that I know that use it, they're like, this doesn't make any sense. And they're always trying to figure out how it works.
I think Apple is doing a pretty good job, though, blending, things like gestures and things that come from touch to the desktop. I think they're doing a pretty good job of not... Like Windows 8 is ridiculous because it's like you swipe and all of a sudden you're in a mouse interface, and then you swipe again and you're in a touch interface. Like... they don't go together.
They don't go together. And I think Tim Cook said something along the lines of they're trying to make it both, and I'm paraphrasing hard here, both a toaster and a refrigerator. It's like those two things are not the same things, and they shouldn't share the same functionality.
Yeah.
I really hope Apple doesn't end up heading that direction. That would be a big red flag for me.
Yeah.
And would be a major bummer too, because my friend actually despises iOS 7.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things she's worried about. She's like, I love my Mac.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm worried that they're going to start bringing elements of this to the Mac because I really hate it.
Yeah.
And that would be a huge bummer, right? Because if you didn't have your Apple,
Yeah.
like, what's the other choice?
Yeah.
HP?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? There's no other option.
That's the tricky thing. It's because, like, with the phone, we all upgraded just in the last couple weeks. And I don't know about you, but a lot of the things I have to say to myself, I'll get used to it, right? Even though I was way faster just 2 weeks ago, I'll get used to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to start to have to get used to my Mac because I'm such a power. Like I'm so fluid with the Mac that it's like it's my workhorse, and I don't want to all of a sudden have to take 10 steps back to become good at it again.
Me either.
You know what I mean?
And there's certain things, too, that just work well for human input. I think the keyboard's one of those things. The steering wheel's one of those things.
Yeah.
Where they can refine it, but, I mean, if they had to replace your steering wheel with something else, I mean, that's essentially what they'd be doing here, is they'd have to find something that we found just as intuitive to use, and I think that's going to be extraordinarily difficult, if it's even possible.
Yeah, it's hard to, like...
There's a reason this shape and everything has stuck around for so long.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Not that it couldn't be improved.
Oy. Okay.
Any Hooskies, I'm so excited. You guys have heard me complain about how long I've been waiting to get a new Mac, and I was just telling Roberto before the show.
Yeah, man.
This thing's crashing. I love this computer, my Mac. I really do, but I've never had more problems with a Mac than I've had with this one, and I don't know why, but like pieces are falling off of it. And granted, I've dropped it like 2 or 3 times. Not even joking. Like the feet on the bottom of this thing are all falling off, and that just shouldn't happen with a computer that's this expensive. And I've had this thing for so long now, and I've tossed it like a discus by accident at least twice, where it literally flew out of my hands.
And you don't care about like no disk drive or anything like that. I mean, optical disk or anything like that.
Oh no! I mean, I've used a disk drive in here probably once in the last 18 months.
Yeah.
And I have a media PC that I built under my television, and it has a DVD drive in it, and I used
Remote disk,
and it worked really well.
Yeah.
Or I can just use the software on there. It's just not worth having in my computer. Do you miss yours?
Not at all.
I mean, have you ever once been like, oh my gosh, I wish I had a disk drive?
Nope.
I think that's probably the way most people are.
No, because I mean, remember I took my Pro and took out the optical and put a hard drive in.
Oh, that's right. So you've been out with that one for a while.
I've been accustomed for a little while.
My friend who I was just mentioning about iOS, she wanted to burn a disk the other day. And she went to go put it in, and
tried
that's
to put it into her phone.
Yeah, she's like, "Where does this go?" Clink, clink, clink. She was like, "That kind of looks like it takes a disc." And that's when she realized that she had the Retina MacBook Pro because she couldn't find the disk drive.
I think you talked about this.
Isn't that funny? I was like, how do you not know that when you buy a computer? These are who Apple is dealing with primarily. These are Apple's customers, and she's pretty savvy. There's people out there who know way less than she does. And these are the people that Apple's trying to sell products to. It's like, not us.
Yeah.
We'll figure stuff out, right?
Yeah, or I mean, we hear it because we watch the stupid keynote. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah, we are the faithful ones.
Yeah.
I mean, we are like the ones who disseminate their message to our friends and family.
Yeah, we sure do. I mean, I don't know about you, but did you make your whole family switch to Mac at some point?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Some of them switched of their own volition, which was really surprising to me. And some of them are still hanging on to PC. But yeah, for the most part, because especially,
like your mom, you told her to get an iPad.
Oh yeah, for sure. And she's doing stuff with that iPad that I never thought she would ever do with a computer. She had it. My brother recently became an attorney. He got sworn in, which was awesome. Thank you.
Congrats, John.
And my mom was there filming it with her iPad. That is incredible. My mom does not know how to turn a PC on.
Yeah.
I mean, does not know how to operate a computer whatsoever. And here she is
Pointing a rectangle.
pointing a rectangle at her face and filming her own expressions because she doesn't know which direction. No, I'm just joking. But she was filming it. She's emailing the video. She's always emailing me pictures and stuff, and we're texting. I mean, it's just incredible.
That's pretty amazing, yeah.
It's incredible.
So what's our next thing?
Okay. Oh, I wanted to just bring this up quickly. So, you use Instagram still, right?
Yes.
I need to start using it more. I've been slacking.
Actually, my last post was sorry for not posting.
Was it?
Because I get like Instagrammer's block, like writer's block, and I don't know what to post.
That is
you know?
precisely what happens to me because
Okay.
we actually care about what we post.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't want
mean-
to be like, here's my muffin that I'm eating.
Yeah, and mine is at Throwboy, so I'm like, I want to try to put things about Throwboy, but I also people still like to know what's going on with me.
Sure.
So I try to do a balance, but sometimes I'm like, I've definitely taken this photo before. I don't want to take it for the 90th time.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So Instagram did a quiet update the other day, and you may or may not have noticed they pulled out the ability to switch autoplay off. So you
On
know, like all those
video.
videos on video, and they're about to make a big push to start doing mobile video ads.
Really?
Which, this is what I wanted to ask you.
Uh-huh.
I think this is going to be a huge shot in the foot.
Really?
I mean, if you're going to force me to watch a freaking Cheetos ad or a stupid Bank of America ad, that may very well affect my desire to want to use Instagram. If I'm scrolling and all of a sudden Chester Cheetah's like climbing up or in my videos like, hey,
Yeah.
eat a Cheeto today. And I'm like,
Climbing
no,
up.
I don't want to freaking do that. And I don't want you in my feed. It's very obtrusive because, you know, the thing about when you use your Mac is like if you see an ad, it's just off to the side. This is front and center
Yeah.
in your feed, and you can't stop it.
It's tough. I mean, this goes to a bigger problem of I don't think anybody's nailed mobile ads in you know, apps. Like it always feels bad.
It
you know?
always feels terribly
Always feels
intrusive.
bad, you
Yeah.
know? And like there's apps out there that we hear about that are just blowing up and everyone loves them, and then the next thing is like, okay, we gotta monetize, let's switch on ads, and then everyone hates
And
it.
the user base goes,
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I just recently saw that, but I think they did it in a pretty clever way because they made it so the video plays on mute, right? And sometimes it's weird because sometimes you're like, actually like, oh, I wouldn't even have touched that because it's a video, but let me hear it, you know, and then you press it and then you're like, you actually
so you
find
think they've
yourself
done it in a
watching
tasteful way?
It's a little bit better than let's just play it and blast it in your face, right?
Cheetos!
Yeah. I mean, there's no ads yet, but these are my friends, so I'm like, okay, you know.
Okay. I thought you meant you saw ads.
No. There's no ads yet. And then I only really recently put two and two together when I went to the settings, and it was like, would you like to have it be muted or would you like to have it auto load or something like that? And I was like, wait, where's the one that says turn it off? So like they just like
You're like, I swear I thought I could turn this
yeah,
off.
they like word it in a way. They're like, what would you like, sir? Like, would you like?
You have two good
Yeah.
options.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this with an app like Snapchat, like which is really grown and people really like using it, and they're trying to become more of an official thing, just like Instagram. Like kind of Instagram came up and they were like 10 employees and it was really just kind of like ragtag, and you could tell like people really liked it, but there was no like slick thing about like, okay, we're a $1 billion company that needs to monetize and yada yada, right? Like it was
They were just trying to build up.
they were just trying to make a
user
good, a
base.
cool app,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of like what Snapchat has become. And then all of a sudden, they kind of did a recent push where they sort of like made the UI a little bit more svelte, and then all of a sudden, they have pushes from the company where if you hold down, it's like a full blown like ad, like, but it's not, it's an ad, it's a company ad, and it's like,
Yeah.
this is us using Snapchat and it's so fun. It's like super like DSLR, like really slick. It looks like an Urban Outfitters ad, you know? And I'm like, this kind of happens, like an app takes off and then a PR firm like
Hey,
let's
this is
go
what you
in
need to
there,
do. Yeah.
and then we gotta monetize, right?
Right.
And it's like I don't know if those steps are paying off yet. You know what I mean? Because I think with this real estate, it's hard to figure out how to,
It's
how
very
to put
intimate.
ads in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
very intimate, exactly.
And no one wants to have that be invaded by ads. I don't either. And
Yeah, even like ads, which were supposed to be like the holy grail of ads, and like those still suck too, you know?
Yeah. I think the problem is that most people don't want to look at ads. On the computer, they're very easy to ignore. And on here, they're hard to ignore. So
And the
they
computer
just-
we use ad blocker. I mean, geez.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. I do most of the time as well. And
And you work for a blog, so.
yeah, actually, I didn't even realize. I didn't put two and two together for the longest time. I was like, why is everyone else's Cult of Mac look different than mine? And then I realized I had ad block turned on, and I turned it off, and I was like, oh, it's like driving into Vegas. Holy moly! Ads everywhere. I'm with some of you guys. You're like, oh, there's too much ads on Cult of Mac. I'm like, it's tough because you get into a position where, just like these companies, it's like you have to pay your bills and you have to figure out how to make money from a service you're providing for free.
Yeah.
And
It's just
a
weird
balance. It's
with-
a balancing act.
With mobile, it's kind of hard. I mean, like, I guess Facebook, they don't seem to piss me off with the ads in the feed very much. Like, I feel like they're, I don't notice them as much. Maybe it's because there's so much content on there, and it's like, it's different than an Instagram feed. Like, an Instagram feed it's just photos it was photos for a long time, and it felt like it was just the people you care about or your friends usually. And then it became video, and that kind of like made it sort of weird because it was all of a sudden loud in your face and stuff. And I feel like you add another layer where it's like a full-blown ad in a square that takes up the entire screen. It's just like,
yeah.
right? Because I mean, like, Facebook, none of those actually take up the full screen. Like, most of the time there's something at the top or something at the bottom, and then the ad can easily be swiped up, you know? So I don't know. I mean,
I think the key also is relevance.
that too, yeah.
I mean, that's so critical, because if you show me a product that I actually might be interested in, then I don't mind.
Yeah.
That, it's like if you take my data, all my browsing data, and you're like, okay, Erfon likes to do push-ups.
Yeah.
He's really into his physique, and he's obviously very strong. We should show him an ad for this new dumbbell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sweet, bro, new dumbbells.
Oh, we saw the selfies he took in the mirror. With
Yeah,
his
they're
shirt
like,
off.
he takes at least one selfie per hour. Most of them, 90% of them were with his shirt off. He needs suntan oil and he needs barbells or dumbbells. Then that's fine with me because it's relevant to who I am, and I think it annoys me less. Now, the iHeartRadio app that I always use, Dave Ramsey show's on there, by the way. That's why I use it.
Oh, cool.
And you can listen to all 3 hours of the show.
good
So
show.
they recently switched their app, or they upgraded their app, and now you have to sign into an account, which annoyed me. But before you hit play, they show you an ad. And the ad is always for like Walmart or some movie I don't want to see. And it's amazing how infuriating a 15-second to 30-second especially ad can be. Because I'm just like, why are you forcing me to watch this ad that I am never going to respond to in any way?
Yeah.
I don't shop at Walmart. I don't even have a Walmart near my house.
Well, like the stuff you were saying earlier, even though you were joking about I need barbells and whatever, like they don't analyze your photos that deep. You know what I mean?
Probably not.
Like if they did, we probably would have great, like, interesting things to find, right?
Yeah, right.
But they don't. So like, what's it called? Something like Pandora, like, which I get pissed because they play the same ads like over and over and over.
Yep.
And they're always stuff that's like very middle of the road. Like everyone's gonna want this, like, kind of crap.
Yeah.
And then I think the only thing that they have as far as statistics for me is like my age. So I used to get, are you getting engaged this month? You should buy an engagement ring, and all this kind of stuff. It's like, no,
Soon.
stop bringing it up.
The longer it is before you get engaged, it's like they're gonna be like, oh, we see.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you should buy your boyfriend something
Yeah.
nice for Valentine's Day. Would you like the gay underwear pick of the month? Would you like to join that club?
What is happening, Skip? Dude, speaking of that, this is off topic, but you're using iTunes Radio, right?
A little bit, not really a lot.
They are like bugging out, man. Like,
How so?
I will be playing something, and I'll say click, don't play the song again. And then I'll skip to another song, and then it will play the song again. Like, it played the same song like 3 times in the same skip sequence until I ran out of skips and finally had to listen to the stupid song. Like, it is buggy, dude. It is buggy. Like, I'll try to do stuff like I'll be listening to a song. Sometimes it'll crash, but sometimes it's just it won't actually respond to the skip. I'll be like, no, I don't like that song. Skip. And then I'll be like, I don't want that one either. Skip. And it's the song before that I just skipped.
And it's not smart enough to know that. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. See, I tried using iTunes Radio, and I too found it to be a little confusing to use.
It is not the best UI.
It's not the best UI, and I also found it to be a little buggy. And plus, I had already paid $40 for Pandora One membership for the whole year.
Oh, well then stick to that.
Dude, I gotta say, Pandora One...
You're always on Pandora now.
It's great. I listen to Pandora all the time. I'm definitely getting my money's worth.
Yeah.
And they never play you any ads.
Mm-hmm.
And the music, once you train a station... You know, sometimes you got to train them for like a week, but they are spot on. They're always playing great music.
Yeah, I keep finding myself going back to the same stations that I like on Pandora. Yeah. Once in a while, like I'm trying to give iTunes a chance because sort of like Spotify, it gives you more skips without an ad. I feel like it gives you like more of that without like Pandora. I've had back-to-back ads recently. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like they're really getting ad happy on that platform.
Are they really?
That's
but unfortunate.
I mean, you don't have to deal with it, but
no.
Like, and it's kind of like whatever. Like if you're not paying anything, that's the argument, right? It's like shut up, you're not paying for it, right?
Right.
But I mean, do you want people to use it? Or do you want to piss people off and then make me stop using it? Because that's where I'm at.
Well, maybe what
you know?
they're trying to do is get you to be annoyed to the fact where you switch.
Yeah.
Like, they probably have this measured, and they're like, people get annoyed at this certain level, and they'll either, you know, just deal with it, or they'll buy Pandora One.
You're right. But you know what iTunes has a leg up on is, one, it's fresh, and I have yet to understand what their algorithm or whatever it is that picks songs yet, right? So all of a sudden I'm like, it's brand new, and I'm like, oh, let me listen to the Beatles station. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of really good stuff here, you know? And then this is where they hook you. When something comes up that you haven't heard in forever, one tap and all of a sudden you have that song because you can buy it, right?
Yeah.
I bought way more stuff recently.
Really?
Yes.
Because you're like, I really like this song.
And I don't know when I'm going to hear it again because I'm just on this brand new thing I've never seen, right? So I'm like, whatever, $129, yeah, sure, I don't care.
Plus tax?
Yeah, plus tax.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not a cheap
So that means it's like
buy.
almost like $150 a song now.
It's not a cheap impulse buy, I'll tell you that. And I actually tried it earlier. I tried to cheat it earlier today. I wanted a song before I went on my run, and it was either in this greatest hits album or this like compilation, and the one that I got, the compilation was like a remix, and I was like, damn it, because it was 99 cents. I was like, why is it 99 cents? It's the same song, same preview of the song, but yet it was a different
I think you
song.
probably get a refund.
Yeah, I'm going to try it, but
you know what I've been doing is I just keep Spotify open, and if I hear a great song that I love, I just go into Spotify, find it, add it to my Spotify playlist.
Did you pay for both?
No, I don't pay for Spotify. Spotify desktop is free.
Oh, okay. I think it's because I like to have it on my device when I go like in the car or run.
Yeah.
You know? But one other thing I was gonna say, the music app on here is really driving me nuts because we talked about this earlier, where it showed all of my iTunes purchases before, right? And it's kind of cool, but at the same time, like I was saying, I impulse buy. So I buy a lot of dumb stuff, you know, the stuff that I'm like one-hit wonder garbage that I'm like, I might want to listen to that for a little while, but then I'll get definitely sick of it.
Did you buy 500 Miles recently?
I did, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I did, dude.
Did you really?
Yes. I'm gonna find
I
it.
would walk 500 miles. That's so funny. You did. I can't believe I was right. You're like, oh man, I love this song when I was in middle school.
I should have just been like, yeah, of course. Anyway. But dude, no, the thing about this app, So a lot of our viewers and listeners said you can go into the music settings and turn off show all purchased or show all. They call it like in the cloud. But if it's already downloaded onto your device, it doesn't let you delete it off your device. So you can go. I can go into anything that I've synced to from my computer that I downloaded. Maybe I ripped it from a CD and I put it onto my iPhone. I can delete that, right? Like I can delete that all day. But if it's something I downloaded from iTunes, either from my phone or from the computer and sync to this, if it's on the hard drive of the device or the storage of the device, I can't delete it.
That seems very
Which
strange.
is the dumbest thing in the world, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, what if your device is full?
Yeah.
Can you not get rid of your music?
Dude, I'm trying, and I'm like, which way is it? Swipe left, swipe right. Look, I just tried to do it. And I bought Saturday Night Fever, by the way. Oh, wait, no, it's letting me do it now.
Oh, there you go. You just have to do it on the track.
Dude, I was doing that all day. Look. I told you, I buy the dumbest crap.
This is perhaps the gayest music video that has
Oh my
ever been
God.
made.
Yeah, it is.
I don't mean that in a derogatory
No,
sense.
no.
It is literally the gayest looking music video you've ever seen.
It was like-
there's just gay people dancing
How did
everywhere.
they not know that he was a gay?
Yeah, you're like all the girls were swooning over him, right? And his little short shorts and his teased hair.
And he had like gloves on.
Yeah, I think he had like a little bow tie on
Yeah.
that bounced when he moved his Adam's apple up and down. Oh my gosh.
Wow. All right, let's move on.
Okay, iconic book.
Yeah.
This looked really cool. So
Yeah.
let's give this some iconic book. Is it just iconicbook.com?
Yeah. .squarespace.com.
Is it? Maybe I should add that in
It
there.
probably
Let's see.
would be because it's definitely a Squarespace site.
Featured in the Wall Street Journal.
What is this,
So,
man? Here,
this is really cool.
I will do just because I don't want to do this post.
Okay. Do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna forget this guy's name. Do you remember his name?
John Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah.
That sounds right. That sounds right. So there is a guy whose name is totally escaping me who runs a website which I totally can't remember at the moment.
The Ander Kahane.
The end. Do you see it in there? Did you see his name?
No.
I wasn't sure if he was in here.
He made a book.
A guy makes a book. He runs a website dedicated to, I think, like historic, like Apple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided one day, oh, does it keep going? That's it.
No, but I didn't see the beginning.
Oh, you want me to go up?
Yeah.
And he decided to learn how to take high quality photos of kind of like the Apple products that you see in today's marketing materials that they have.
Yeah.
Except he wanted to do it with all the Apple products that have ever been made. So he went about collecting all this amazing like computing equipment, phones, computers, everything.
Everything Apple's come out with.
Everything Apple's ever made.
Like
and
ever.
then yeah, like everything they've ever made. And then taking really beautiful, high quality photos of it.
Yeah.
This is such a great idea. And then he put it together in this book that he's calling Iconic. You can buy it for $30. Mm-hmm. And there's another more elaborate version. I think that costs $300. It's like a limited edition or something. And the photos in it are just beautiful. It's just basically a coffee table book. I want one. I don't know if I'm going to buy one because if I did, it would probably just sit somewhere and I would never look at it. I kind of feel like
your Steve Jobs book that you never
like my
finished.
Steve Jobs book that I actually haven't finished yet. But, oh my gosh, I'm sure some of this stuff I've had. This is so cool. Even software he took really beautiful pictures of. Why didn't I have this idea? This would have been a perfect idea for me to think of. I'm a photographer, and I love old Apple stuff.
Yeah.
And I have an Apple podcast. This would have been perfect for me. But alas, he thought of it first.
Oh yeah, and talk about his special edition one.
I don't really know what to say about it besides the fact that it just looks like an old piece of Apple hardware.
Yeah, so he does the regular bound book, right?
Yep.
And then the other one is in sort of like a plastic case that looks like an Apple II. So that's a shell. That's
Right.
what the Apple II looked like. Mm-hmm. And then this is like a little slot, which I think is pretty clever.
That it pops out of.
Yeah, that's clever.
It's very clever. What a wonderful idea. I mean, it's cool that he really gave that much consideration to the packaging.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like Apple does.
Yeah, I mean, That's what you got to do, right? Like when you're hitting that market, you go all out and try to make it as much as like an Apple product as possible. How would I know this? Well, I think you know.
You read about it on the internet.
I think you know.
I think you know.
Yeah.
I know the thing about packaging.
And
What is his name? I can't remember.
but yeah, this is interesting. I kind of feel the same way. Like, yeah, in my mind, I would love to have that on my cool coffee table, but I probably would never do it until like I don't know.
And if you did have this, it wouldn't be on your coffee table because you wouldn't want it to get dirty.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's cool though. I'd love to flip through one, one of these days.
I might go to Barnes & Noble and flip through one for free.
I'll probably end up at somebody's place that has one. I know it,
Eventually you will. Especially because this thing has gotten so much press. I mean, we covered it on the Cult Cast. Dude, the second helping I'm giving this guy.
And this is is it supposed to be limited?
Is it limited?
Because this is something you could see at the store,
I thought that just the special edition was limited, but the other one was...
Yeah.
We're going to sell as many of these as we possibly can.
Yeah. This is interesting because it's. I thought that in my mind I would have thought it would have been just Steve Jobs, stuff that Steve Jobs had to do with. Because, I mean, I'm sure there's a good amount of, probably, that much of bullshit that you don't want to read, right?
Yeah, from the John Scully years.
Yeah,
there's going to be all this crazy crap.
All the different CEOs that, basically reiterated the Macintosh for, 20 years. Not 20, but, 10. Pretty much 10 years.
Totally.
Of running the same sort of style Mac. Yeah, I mean...
This is total nerd porn.
It is, yeah.
Right.
But there's, this is great for people really into computers.
I want one of these.
The software boxes are really cool too. When I was doing the ICEO, I was collecting old Macs, all of the old. I got one of the old Macintosh classics, and then I got the first iMac, and I got the next computer, which I have, and then I got...
They're cheap, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really cheap.
All that stuff, because it's just old computer
equipment. Yeah, it's just usually what happens is for me, every single one was somebody that was just oh, I don't know what this is, dude. Do you want it? It was just Craigslist stuff,
Wow.
But we take cool photos of it, and all of a sudden it looks awesome.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be cool to have in an office somewhere.
Yeah. I wonder if a lot of this required a lot of restoration to some of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Gosh, that's a great question.
Because
I would imagine it did.
A lot of this stuff has got to be in not the best condition. I wonder how much money was actually put into
buying the equipment,
buying this stuff. Yeah, because some of this stuff is still expensive. Getting a 128 Macintosh that has all the signatures of the creators inside of it. That's expensive.
Well, I wonder if he, on some of this stuff, on some of the more rare items, he didn't buy it, but he found someone that had it.
Oh, and let them
And he's just
photograph
let
it.
me just come to your house and...
set up a white box.
I mean, crap, if iFixit can go halfway around the world and do that with an iPhone, it's this guy can totally have a portable photo station.
Can you imagine what this would be an interesting person to interview on your
I want to
show.
get him on. Yeah, I really do.
Ask him, did you have to have, the craziest spreadsheet to figure out, how much of the stuff that I already photograph and whatever, right?
Yeah, he's on my short list. I was kind of hoping that I could get him on, and then we could also give away some on, a Cult Cast second hour.
That'd be neat.
So I'm trying to get a hold of him.
We're looking at a Macintosh 128K, first Macintosh, but it was before it had the beige shell. It's a clear shell. That was a prototype. Those, where do you even get those?
How do you know that exists?
They talk about it in some of the old MacBooks, the
Do
one
they?
that I have, yeah. But I mean, that is freaking rare. Who had that? Did you have to go to one of the creators' houses and get it?
Wozniak, maybe.
That's crazy. But
it's insane.
And then not
It'll
to
be
mention,
great.
dude, you can go to some person's house to get, maybe you do have to spend coin to get some of these old things. Think of how much money you had to spend for the last 8 years of stuff. All that stuff is stuff that's probably expensive still,
Yeah, for sure. He dropped some coin doing this and a lot of time.
A lot of time.
I mean, this book is just a huge wrap-up of a lot of Apple history.
But it's great, though. I mean, this is the kind of thing that Apple can sort of, invoke as somebody's you inspire me to make something this great and make something that has this level of detail of package, and it's not just some schlock together thing or never ever made, right? Who else?
Yeah.
What other company makes you want to do a book about all of their releases of
Only
hardware.
compact computers.
Yeah. I mean, like, not
Here's
even...
the i7 2XA-H4.
That's
7.2.
Sony, actually.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so anyway, I think this is cool.
I think it's cool, too. He's going to make a gazillion dollars on this. There's just nothing else like it. No one can emulate it either. I mean, who else is going to go out and do this?
Yeah, I know.
He's going to be selling these things for the next 20 years.
Yeah. This reminds me, and he could put out new versions with the newer stuff in it.
Totally,
right?
yeah.
This reminds me of when I first saw the Cult of Mac book, which I don't know if it became a blog after, or
I don't know that either.
But that was one of those things. Like, I think it was like in 2002 or 3. I was working at the Apple Store. This new book had just come out, and it was all about like all the Mac geeks like we were, and we were like, "This is so cool! Like, this is a book about like people that like outfit their Mac to be like a fish tank, and like put like a decal on their freaking car that looks like a dock and all that stuff. That stuff, all of that, all those different like fan art versions of Macs and stuff like that, and collectors, that actually like stuck with me. That inspired me to do what I do, you know, to do the pillows. So like, I think that stuff is awesome. Like, when I first saw that, it was really cool. And that was years
It'd be cool
ago.
to get our hands on that book.
You don't have that, do you?
No.
Yeah, you should get it.
I should
He
ask.
probably has them, I bet.
He probably has like 100 of them.
Yeah.
Thousands sitting in a warehouse somewhere. Okay, let's wrap up. Let's see. Oh, okay. So you wanted to show me VQ.
Yeah. So one of our viewers sent me this tweet, and I don't remember who it is. I apologize. You can yell at me on Twitter.
Yell at him on Twitter.
But this is a sort of like a Kickstarter, I think. I'm gonna butcher this because basically it is a camera. Actually, what am I doing? I need to do posts. We're gonna watch this little pitch video and see what it's like.
Okay.
It's 2 minutes. I don't think we're gonna watch the whole thing.
Probably not.
No. Since when does space mean close the window?
It's very youthful music.
This is basically what the Snapchat video looks like.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like all like... Come on, do something.
They're showing people being youthful and cool.
I don't care. I want to see the product.
Hey, I do popsicles. Those are rules.
Dude, this is BS. Okay, 136. I'm gonna stop it because I'm mad now.
It's way too long.
I can't.
So,
I hate
what-
this when people make these videos that are just like, let's show everybody having fun, but we won't show the product for like 4 minutes in.
Yeah, I still don't even know what the product looks like. Okay, there it is
We'll
at the
start
very
all
end.
over. This is the Q. It's a camera, and sorry, this is a Q. It's a camera, and basically
Comes out in 8 hours and 12 days, or 8 days and 12 hours.
Yeah, and basically what it says is the Q is the world's first social camera, uploading your photos to the internet automatically. Store unlimited photos online on the Q Lab. And basically, yeah, it's like supposed to be this easy point and shoot that auto uploads to the internet. But again, because there's no like specs in my face, I have to just be totally smitten by the fact that all these cool models are taking pictures with it, and that's gonna make me buy it.
How's that analog look?
Not the tech specs, not something like does it run on 3G or 4G or LTE, or how does it upload automatically? I'm venting because I'm kind of just annoyed.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at the description and stuff.
This is what the camera looks like.
So it's basically just a camera with a ring light, which actually is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Well, see, I feel like this is why I feel like I'm gonna butcher it, because I don't have information to read. That's why. I feel like people are gonna be like, "You didn't read the thing because it says right there," and I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I had to dig like 5 levels deep
Write
to
your own
find that."
history.
So
I mean, basically, essentially, what it looks like is a camera that has a ring light on the front, so it's just like a little ring flash, and it uploads your stuff to their servers as soon as you take it. So it probably includes a SIM card or something. I wonder how long that takes if it does it over.
yeah, And I'll
Oversell.
apologize on behalf of both of us because I'm digging through the site pretty hard to find any real facts, and all I'm seeing are models being like, "We're taking pictures."
Yeah.
So
not really giving you very much.
this is
information.
annoying. But I will say, people are really trying out really hard to market point and shoots.
Yeah.
Why? Point and shoots have been completely replaced. Get over it. It's a
Yeah.
phone now, okay? Are you really gonna take around the Q and your iPhone by this?
That's
I mean-
really the question. I mean, because this thing looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, how well it works is obviously going to be a huge factor in whether or not you'd want to tote it around. But
There has to be some like very novel factor.
it would have to do really, really good flash photography for me to be interested in it whatsoever. Because otherwise, your iPhone takes amazing pictures during the daytime. And it also can very easily upload your photos to Flickr,
Yeah.
Dropbox, Facebook.
Whoa, does it?
Pretty much any network that you want.
It just bugs me that I'm like, because of this like style, what do you call it? Photos of people using this camera and like where they're making it look super fun and stuff. It's gonna like make people think that they need this extra stupid thing in their life, even though they have an iPhone in their pocket. You know? I'm like, you don't need that.
I wonder how
dude.
much this costs. Does it say?
I don't know. I'm trying to find it.
They're like, we don't tell you that information.
Like it's really just an endless scrolling website with no facts. But
subscribe to our newsletter.
I mean, this kind of is like that one time we saw that. Do you remember that lens that was made out of like brass or something like that?
Yes.
It was like that, and then it's
that
kind
only
of
like 10 people are gonna buy.
yeah, and it's kind of like one of those like frivolous things. Like I would argue that the what's it called? Like the new Polaroids that are coming, the one that I have, you know, that takes like those tiny little Polaroid shots.
Yep.
I would argue that those have more of a market because they're just kind of like this fun, novel thing you might bring it to a party or whatever,
Right.
rather than something like this. You know what I mean? Because everyone
Yeah.
has a phone in their pocket. Why are they gonna go be like, "Hey, where's Katie? Does she have the Q?" Like, who cares?
Where's the Q?
You have your freaking iPhone. You know, like
Yeah, but that's a phone. You can't take pictures with it. Where's the Q?
yeah.
We want to take
wanna
take a
take it.
photograph.
We want to go to the Q Labs website after this. Guys, do you have the URL for the Q Labs
There's
website?
no way to get my iPhone photos onto the Q Labs website. We need the Q.
I don't think you understand.
This thing's probably gonna be like $150.
Dude, yeah, I'm oh wait.
The models make it look
Shop
cool though.
the cameras. Oh.
Get the ketchup one.
Okay.
Oh, I guess they have different color.
$200.
Wow.
That's the price of an iPhone. Or no, it's not, because you can get an iPhone for like $99 or free.
The other thing I'm really curious about is if this thing looks like it has a SIM card in it.
Uh-huh.
It's probably Sprint, which means it's going to be really slow to upload photos.
Oh, finally, here's some specs.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
It's got filters built in.
of course.
5 megapixels? Really? So it takes really low resolution photos. Oh, it's waterproof too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing actually looks a little cool. Like, I don't know if I'd ever want to carry it around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I care at all about uploading it automatically.
Mm-hmm.
But
Micro SIM, it says.
they must include that
This
in the price.
it's just like you get this dumbed down experience with your phone. You get this touchscreen, and you can do all sorts of stuff with it. You can do apps with it. You can do Instagram with it. All of a sudden, you're gonna start taking on this plastic camera. You're gonna have to go to your computer, and then you're gonna have to download that, and then you're gonna have to transfer it to your phone so you can get it on Instagram. Like, what the hell? Like, to me. I think you know by now, I get upset when people like slickly market things that are just stupid, you know?
Well, the thing that I think is really interesting about this that makes it seem like it actually might be cool is the ring light. Because we use a ring light to light this show, and not really in the way it's supposed to be used.
Not very well, though.
But using a ring light can create very beautiful flash photography.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the ring light has a diffuser on it, which hopefully might mean that the flash will be somewhat soft. Although
But
it's
you
a
could
small
probably
light
get
source.
that for the phone, right?
Maybe you might be able to. I don't know if you get a ring light for your iPhone. I've never seen one. So, because it has to have like all the LEDs in a ring, and it's right around the lens, so it could create good photographs. I would want to see what the actual effects are. Like they don't show any photography from it, do they? I don't think they do.
No.
Uh-oh. Red light.
This-
we don't have to show you any
It's just, I'm sorry, it's a hard to navigate website. Like, yeah.
I don't like the links changing.
Yeah, when I hover over the links and then I hover off them, all of a sudden they all look like they've been lit up. Anyway, it's theqcamera.com. You can check it out.
Check it out. We should probably wrap it up there.
Okay, so
Look at this show, the double salute.
Where can everyone find the show?
If you would like to interact with me, you can do so on...
Oh,
Oh,
the
wait,
show.
not me. The show. I just tune out what he says sometimes. You can hop on to iTunes, and subscribe there. We have both audio and video of the show. Just search User Friendly Show on iTunes. You can also go to youtube.com/User Friendly Show on YouTube and stream the show.
And add us on Ping, the new iTunes network. It's sure to take off.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you're following us on Ping so you can find out about upcoming shows. We'll ping ya. That's still going, right? That's still a thing people do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And if you want to follow us personally, where will we find you?
Twitter.com/Roberto Hoyos, RobertoHoyos. You?
I'm at Erfon, ERFON on the Twitters, as people sometimes say, and it makes me angry.
I just saw that Threadless.com says like follow us on the interwebs or something like that. Yeah, it does, dude.
It kills me. I hate it. I hate it.
Hate it.
I hate it.
Look.
Oh! Threadless. Done.
Yeah. It kind of dates you. It makes you look old, Threadless.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, I think that's it, man.
Okay.
Well.
So until the next show. Oh, hey. We got a Q&A show coming up.
Yes, we're doing an extra show, mini episode. We don't know how long it's going to last, but thanks.
2 minutes max.
You guys sent in questions and we'll be answering them.
Excellent.
But that's not right now. So until next time,
We'll see you guys
on the friendly time.
Keep it friendly.